All right, we're live.
You go live. Welcome, thank you for coming. We appreciate you coming. Boy, we got a lot of fire tonight, huh? Appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. And the public. Listen, this month is Autism Awareness Month, and just, be kind of, each person faces their own obstacles, so, be kind. It's difficult out there on that, so Autism Awareness Month. Adequate notice of this meeting of the Lawrence Township Council being held on Tuesday, April 4th, 2023 has been provided through the posting of the annual meeting schedule of said council in accordance with Section 13 of the Open Public Meeting Act. Said notice was forwarded to the Trentonian, the Times, and the Ledger on December 11th, 2022. Madam Clerk, may we have the inspiration, please?
May we carry out our work at this meeting in a just, honorable, and sincere manner, always bearing in mind our duties and continuing to keep Lawrence a wonderful community in which to live. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, may we all stand for a moment of silence, please, for the massacre for the 3 young kids and the 3 adults, and also for our military on the helicopter crash who lost their lives, the brave men and women on that. Thank you so much. May we have the roll call, please?
Mr. Bobbitt?
Here.
Mr. Kanaki?
Here.
Ms. McDuff?
Here.
Mr. Powers?
Here.
Mayor Ryan?
Here. Special proclamations, recognitions, and presentations, none on that. We're going to do public participation, 5 minutes, please. Anyone for public participation? And here is Mr. Roscoe. Thank you.
Good evening, good evening. I
Glad you're
apologize.
safe. I thought you were here for public participation.
No, thank
I thought you heard me down the hallway. So please, Bob, state your name and your address for the record, please.
Greg Politti, 27 Bunker Hill Avenue. I come before council tonight to make you aware of how I believe Lawrence Council is contributing to social and economic inequality by promoting affordable housing policies that dismiss the need for equity and affordable housing in the name of simply increasing the numbers of available units on paper. To give you some examples of what I mean by this, placing brand new affordable housing units in locations that force people to choose between substandard living conditions and a roof over their head because that is all they can afford. Placing new affordable housing units where a child's backyard is literally an array of loading docks for 18-wheelers and 40 cubic yard roll-off dumpsters. Placing new affordable housing units where the tenant's parking area is historically flooded to proportions that would render an already struggling family's vehicle inoperable. And placing new affordable housing units where it is publicly documented by the township's construction code official that the land is a former ceramic tile dump and the property is under constant watch for developing sinkholes. All of these grim realities that will further the social and economic marginalization of potential occupants will be endorsed by this body if resolution H2 gets 3 votes tonight when it comes up on the agenda. What is also disturbing is that council is possibly interfering with a zoning board application that has been deemed complete and is awaiting scheduling by your Office of Community Development. As we all know, should an application get approved by the zoning board and should objectors appeal, that matter comes before this very council. Should that matter come before council, this body has an obligation to evaluate all exhibits and testimony from the zoning board hearing and to be impartial and unbiased in deliberations and decisions. Given all the reasons I've just stated regarding resolution H2, which is on the agenda tonight, I feel that is in the public's best interest and the interest of fairness and transparency, that this resolution be tabled until the zoning board application runs its full legal course. Thanks for listening to me. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Is there anyone else in public participation? Items? Seeing none, we're going to close public participation. Excuse me. Review and revision of the agenda.
Mayor, we need to remove 18E from the agenda.
18E?
Yep.
Thank you.
Need a second?
Second.
Okay. Mr. Bobbit,
Yes.
Mr. Kanaki,
Yes.
Ms. McDuff,
Yes.
Mr. Powers,
Yes.
Mayor Ryan.
Yes. Adoption of minutes of the previous meeting.
None.
Good?
Yeah.
Awarding and rejecting of bids. Can I get a motion for 10A, please?
Sure, Mayor. Move 10A ordinance 2445-23, an ordinance amending the consolidated license permit fee chapter of the Lawrence Township Administrative Code firearms carry permit. Second.
This may seem familiar to you. We have already introduced it and adopted it. However, there was a snafu in terms of publication in the newspaper, and so we have to go through the process.
Mr. Bobbit,
Yes.
Mr. Kanaki,
Yes.
Ms. McDuff,
Yes.
Mr. Powers,
Yes.
Mayor Ryan.
Yes. Can I get a motion for 10B, please?
Mayor, move 10B ordinance number 2446-23, an ordinance amending ordinance number 2440-23, salary ordinance of the Township of Lawrence unclassified under exempt seasonal emergency non-union amended SLEO Class 3 2023 rate. Second.
Yeah, this is addressing the safety issue. We have Class 3 officers. We have been trying to fill a position, and we are not getting qualified applicants. And it's because of our rate is much lower than what the average rate is in our state. Based upon input from our police chief, he believes, and I agree, that we need to be more competitive in order to get the interest from retired police officers to fill this important role. And we'd like to increase the competitive rate to $36 an hour.
Mr. Bobbit,
Yes.
Mr. Kanaki,
Yes.
Ms. McDuff,
Yes.
Mr. Powers,
Yes.
Mayor Ryan.
Yes. Can I get a motion for 11A, please?
Mayor, move 11A, ordinance number 2444-23, an ordinance amending chapter 83 of the Lawrence Township Administrative Code entitled Alcoholic Beverages, Hotel, Motel Exception. Second.
Finally, the LLC that had made an application for this liquor license has completed the process to the satisfaction of the police investigation and the township clerk. This is for the location at PJ's. And we need to amend the ordinance to include them as a licensee.
Is there any public participation for this? Seeing none, we're going to close public participation. Madam Clerk?
Mr. Bobbit,
Yes.
Mr. Kanaki,
Yes.
Ms. McDuff,
Yes.
Mr. Powers,
Yes.
Mayor Ryan.
Yes. Manager's report.
Yes, Mayor. I would like to take this opportunity to read into the record information that I've shared in various outlets on my blog, in the newspaper, on our social media sites. And I felt like tonight was an appropriate way to complete all avenues of information going out to the community. So if you permit me the opportunity to share the following information.
Absolutely.
This has to do with our involvement of the public with regard to our municipal budget process. And it discusses how we begin to where we eventually end at the adoption or rejection of the budget. By mid-January, our Chief Financial Officer, Peter Kiriakakis, prepares a detailed municipal budget. After reviewing the departmental budgets and having multiple meetings with me that provide him with the necessary budget forecasting to accurately determine costs, these are called appropriations within a budget, and revenues anticipated for the coming year. From this process, Peter prepares the 2023 recommended budget. This document contains all the budget details broken down line by line, so anyone can identify the expenses and revenues involved in running the municipal government. At the January 17 council meeting, I presented the recommended budget to the elected officials, our council members, and Peter provided a presentation identifying specific factors that impacted us this year. We then made the recommended budget available on our website and social media pages. On January 20th, 2023, I published an article, a story about our budget process and the Lawrence community on my blog, website, social media sites, as well as the Lawrence Gazette, who published it, so we ensured that it reached as many people as possible. The article intended to give the reader a broad sense of our budget preparation process. This particular article explains part 2 and how we involve the public. On January 24, 2023, I provided council members with a document titled the 2023 Budget Message. It explains the thought process and factors considered that help determine what we believe is the most fiscally responsible budget for the coming year. Since the budget changes over these early months, I modified the budget message multiple times and released the final version to the public at the formal introduction of the budget. From when I provided the recommended budget to the council members to when we formally introduced the 2023 municipal budget at the March 7th meeting, the budget was revised as we received information that more accurately presented the picture of the 2023 municipal finances. During this time, I provided our elected officials with the updated information as they go through their budget review process. Adopting a municipal budget is the most important authority our form of government grants to the council members. The voters elect the council members. They are responsible for thoroughly reviewing the budget, questioning it, working with the municipal manager, modifying it, and ultimately adopting a budget they can support and believe to be in the community's best interests. Politics should never enter into this process. There are 5 council members, and a majority vote is required to adopt the budget. Of course, there are times when some members disagree on budget matters, but the majority rules whether to adopt or reject the budget. From late January through February, the department heads presented their budgets to council members at open public meetings. These occurred on February 7th and February 21st. The presentations are then made available on our website for the community to review. This year, our Public Works Director and the construction official were unable to present before the council, but their presentations were provided to council members and also made available at our website. On March 7, 2023, I formally introduced the 2023 municipal budget to the council members at a public meeting with a decreased tax increase at the request of council members from 2.75 cents to 2.50 cents. At my request, our CFO, though not required to, attended the January 17th, February 7th, February 21st, and March 7th meetings and was ready to answer any questions the public had because there was information regarding the budget at all of those meetings. According to the New Jersey budget law, we must adopt the municipal budget by April 28, 2023. We've scheduled our public hearing to adopt or reject the budget for April 18, 2023. When the council members appointed me, they made it clear they wanted our process to be more transparent and for me to step out from my office and engage the public more meaningfully through social media and other means possible. With this in mind, the budget process we engage in allows any interested resident to be better informed. In addition to how we put information out, any resident may contact me to ask questions. I'm happy to meet with anyone should a phone call or email not satisfy them. My predecessor often met with residents regarding the budget. However, I believe the information we provide to the public on the website, social media sites, local newspapers, public meetings, and my blog reduce the need for those types of meetings. To date, I received 2 telephone calls regarding this year's budget, and both were thank yous for the article in the Lawrence Gazette. As for our budget this year, the tax increase is 2.5 cents, if passed. 1 cent equals $470,635. It's driven by several factors. First and foremost, we are not immune from the higher cost of almost everything due to post-pandemic inflation. In addition to inflation factors, we identified serious public safety issues to address this year. Our fire chief and our police chief at the public meeting on February 7th thoroughly explained these issues. We are hiring 3 firefighters, 2 emergency medical technicians, 2 civilian employees for the Lawrence Township Police Department, 2 return police officers to doing police work, and 2 public works employees to better manage our parks and township lands. These additions to staff represent 1 cent of our 2.5-cent increase. Also, due to the New Jersey budget law, we could not claim or add to our revenue $450,000, or half of the total cannabis tax we expect to receive in 2023. Our inability to claim this revenue makes our budget 1 cent more than we actually need. So we are up 1 cent for the 2024 budget. Looking at this budget and next year's budget will present a more accurate picture when looking back to the present time. If we didn't have a serious public safety issue to address or could have claimed the cannabis tax revenue, we would be down to a ½ cent tax increase. The remaining ½ cent increase over the last year is primarily explained by contractual increases, salaries, township share of pension contribution, ELSA increases, health insurance increases, 911 dispatch, and garbage collection, totaling more than $1 million, which we were able to offset by increased revenues. The township finances are strong. Each year we reduce our debt and expect to be debt-free in 2027. We increase our surplus, so we borrow less and enjoy the highest credit ratings that allow us to get the best financing terms we needed. We also remain the 3rd lowest tax rate in Mercer County while seeing the values in our houses increase. We have rebuilt our staff to better meet the services that our community expects and demands. For those who want us to use more of our surplus fund to reduce this year's tax increase, the answer is that it is short-sighted and simply fiscally irresponsible. When you use more surplus than you regenerate, you trigger a downward financial spiral, and that leads us to areas where we had been before not so long ago, 2009 to 2015. And I won't allow us to go back to those troubling times without a fight. Last meeting, a resident or 2 came up and asked questions about or thought that we should be moving out of the state health insurance because it was too high. And I just wanted to place on the record the following information because it relates to this community, not to the city of Trenton who experienced really high increases or to any other town. But when we look at serious decisions like that, we have to look at how it impacts our community. The total cost of health insurance for 2022 was $3,842,814.45. Total cost of health insurance for 2023 is $4,022,704.14. The difference is $179,890.70, or a 4.68% increase. The average increase in private plans in New Jersey from 2022 to 2023 is approximately 8.8%. According to a September 30th, 2022, New Jersey Department of Bank Insurance news release. To accurately determine how the increase in state health benefits plans impacts our township, they need to look at the type of policies our employees have against the claims history. We have a younger workforce that opts into our health insurance program. They choose the least expensive plans, which in turn results in lesser costs to the community. Reading newspaper articles highlighting the highest premium increases in our towns or cities that are not us is not helpful to understand our situation in our community. We have 11,172 taxpayers in Lawrence Township. The increase of this health insurance shared by each taxpayer is $16.10 annually, or $4.25 quarterly. In addition, changing insurance coverage for our township employees is a bit more complicated than the municipal manager opting out of the state health plan and entering a new agreement with a private health insurer. 7 different labor unions represent our employees. I can think of one specifically with a term in the agreement, which required switching health insurance plans must be like for like or better, not cheaper plans with less coverage. Regardless, the increase we are experiencing entering in this year is almost half the average increase among private plans. So the analysis should go no further than that at this point. Aside from the financial aspects of this, one should also consider the human factor involved. These are our employees. I see them as people that work hard at their jobs. I see them as providers for their families. I see their spouses and their children. I value and I respect them. I think the community as a whole does too. Always looking to take away something from our employees, whether it's not improving a break room, laying them off, or requiring them to have a 0% cost of living increase, as we've done in the past and not so long ago, does not compute with me. I will not support that approach to our budget. Our municipal government is required by law to provide services to the community. The employees deliver those services. Looking to take away from them is unacceptable when there is no need. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Mr. Nowinski. Is there any questions? We can get a copy of that, correct?
Sure.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It's actually been on my blog.
don't-
I sent
I
you
don't
the
blog.
link.
I don't blog, honest to goodness. I haven't a clue. I very seldom go on.
So you're the
Facebook.
guy that's not on.
Honest to goodness, Kevin, I don't blog. I very seldom go on Facebook. It's
I will-
happy
I will
birthday.
email to you.
Happy birthday, enjoy your day. Boom, shut it. Sorry, nothing I can do. On that, I have just one question. What is the percentage? Peter, may I ask you, what's the percentage? It's 2.5 cents.
The budget,
Yes,
2.5 pennies,
right. What's the percentage though?
3.99.
Three-
I think it's
It's
3.9.
so it's like 4%,
Right.
just under 4. What was last year? 5 something, 5. So we're looking at almost
I'll
a
have to
10,
get that.
almost a 10% increase in 2 years.
I'll have to get that to you.
Okay. Okay, yeah, if you don't mind, don't blog me, because I don't do blogs. Please, just email me on that. I would really appreciate it, on it. Thank you so much. Is there any other questions? Questions? You good? All right, good. Attorney's report, Mr. Roscoe's.
I only have comments for closed session, Mayor.
Okay, closed session, we're having closed session. What is, we're doing the Trenton Waterworks and the investigation. What's the matter on the investigation? What investigation matter are we discussing? Is it,
The manager brought to the attention of council a matter that would appear to be a violation of the Faulkner Act, so an investigation would be appropriate. I do believe that's something that should be discussed in closed session.
okay, that's what I'm just asking. It's not on here. Very good, thank you. That's it? Madam Clerk, anything for the,
I do.
you do?
Yeah. Well, last week, I'm just gonna update you on what we were talking about, because there were a couple questions dealing with the election of last week. And I had spoken to.
Mm-hmm,
So I got a few answers for you. So the redistricting, we talked about 9 and 10. And the redistrict, I spoke with the county. The county said that they do not take into account about the committee. Only because the redistricting have to be for the entire Mercer County. Right now, we know that they have a lot of growth, in addition to the fact that they've had a lot of problems over the years, trying to get poll workers, although they've advertised, with the new electronic votes, the new way we do it, the early voting process and everything. So, basically, it's going to take effect supposedly at the November 7th election. It won't be the primary, it'll
okay,
be this year, our election. What they're proposing, and which on the map I gave you last week, is that those numbers that you see, they're taking away District 21 and making 21 10. 10 would actually move up into the location where Spring Beauty Drive would be, because they're just flopping the districts just to take that one away. 9 and 10 would combine into one district, which would be District 9. It would be up to the commissioners to decide that. And they just based it on the fact that, like, potential growth, also on the fact that the need. Right now, they're saying, like, if they have to man each one of these districts and they only have 10 people coming out to vote versus 12 people coming out to vote, They still have to man the same amount of people, they still have to pay the same amount. So they really have to kind of do what's best for the whole entire county and not just look at one township,
But we
okay?
would lose 2 delegates, correct?
You would, and I actually reached out to the county on that one.
And they'll get back to you on
Your
that.
county committee, see, what would happen is District 21 turns to 10. Those 2 delegates would just stay there because they basically would stay here. They just would change districts. 9 and 10, yes, they would, but.
One from each district.
Right, but, and the county, when you have your county committee, meeting, you can decide, see what your bylaws say about that, because we don't determine who it is, and the county doesn't determine either.
Okay.
So, that would just be what's in the bylaws that says it, or you can reach out to the Democrat committee, chair and just see how, they would do that. They may just choose to leave it like it is until we do the next election, or they may say you can elect among yourselves to choose. I don't know how that is. That would just read how the bylaws read. I did want to just go over 2 things for you. If you take a look, because last time I didn't give you this little sheet here, the reasoning behind 9 and 10. In District 9, they had 526 eligible voters. Between the machine ballots and the mail-in ballots, only 215 people came out to vote. In 2022, they had 549 eligible. Only 201 came out to vote. And then in District 10, they had 671 eligible, only 289. And then 696 in 2022, the 264 that came out. So it's below 50% that's coming out to vote. And so that's the reason why. Anything that's under 750, they try to have it between 750 voters in the district, but no more than 1,500 between what's coming in between the machine votes and, the mail-in ballots. So, and, we got early voting. And Lawrence is very good with the early voting and the mail-in ballots. So that's all I have to report for you. Oh, also, one more thing. I did give you guys a copy of the Citizen of the Year Awards.
Yes.
So I didn't know if you could be able to do them yourselves, so you can just circle who won, or you can email me, if I can give that to Craig. He wants to try to get that on to the next meeting of April 18th. Okay?
Very good, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We'll move on, unfinished business, none. New business, none. Public participation, 3 minutes. Please come up, state your,
No, please.
No, you go first.
state your name and your address for the record, please. Thank you.
Hey folks, Eric Lee, 843 Boca Hill Avenue, Lawrence Township, New Jersey, 08648-4011. I got the whole thing in this map. I wasn't gonna come up, but something was mentioned that I do want to ask about. The Township Manager's blog, I received that link both on the official Township Facebook page, the official Township email. It strikes me as official Township communication. Is that a correct understanding? I'm just trying to understand who's responsible for the content on there. Is it the Township or is that a private blog?
Oh, I'm sorry. I have no idea. I don't blog. I
understood
couldn't tell you.
that.
I can answer.
Yeah, absolutely, because I have no clue.
So I'm a township official appointed by the council members. You could deem that to be an official blog. It has the description of what it is, what its purpose is, and that it's not a statement on behalf of the governing body. Did that answer your question?
I understand that's not a statement from the governing body, obviously, considering separation of powers in the form of government that we have. Now, I'm just trying to understand who's responsible for the content, because there are anonymous comments on there that disparage both elected township officials and residents who come and speak at public meetings. And when those comments are linked in official township communications, that's deeply, deeply concerning to me. I don't know if that's the inviting
What
kind
do you,
of.
what do you mean by that? Like, what
I said
comments?
anonymous comments that disparage residents who come
Comments
speak.
in the blog portion. You mean the free speech people are exercising?
That's not what I'm
Yeah,
not
so-
asking about free speech
No,
or
no,
anything. I'm
that's
asking
what-
who's responsible for
That's
the
what I'm
content.
telling you it is, right?
That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking who's responsible for the content on the blog that is being sent out through official township channels that includes disparaging elected public officials and residents who come and ask questions about the budget.
Mr. Roscoe, do you have anything to say? Because I don't,
We have
I
to
don't,
clarify this. Is it,
This isn't a question and answer period. This is public comment.
It is
Mr.
public
Politi can make his comments, and I think that's really what he wants to do, because the questions are really more statements than questions. Make your statements on the record. I think that would be more appropriate, and they'll be part of the record for tonight's meeting.
because I don't blog, I'm barely texting. So we're good. I don't know what a
So-
blog is.
Using the rest of my time, then, I will read the comment that is on the blog that is being sent out in official township emails, on the township Facebook page, on the township police department's Facebook page, on the township recreation Facebook page. And I did not know this comment was here until I started reading along to the manager's statement as he was presenting it today. It was left at 8:31 on March 30th. It says, "You're doing a great job, Mr. Nowinski. It is a shame we have a select few, including our own mayor, against the budget. I'm glad you speak up and tell us the truth. It is concerning all, but Mr. Ryan came to discuss this budget with you. Also, a past mayor, Mr. Politi, who embarrassed himself at the meeting during the public participation. It seems to me both are looking for some type of political gain in cahoots with each other. We need educated, well-rounded people who know a thing or two. Is that something that you endorse? Is that something that the township endorses? This is a statement, not a question and answer period. I'm making a statement."
I think we have the 3 minutes on that.
It's deeply concerning to me, and I will finish up my statement with this. It's deeply concerning to me that we send statements like that out in official township communications, and then we expect the public to come and ask questions and inquire to their governing body about what's going on in this town. It is neither transparent nor inviting. It is deeply concerning, and it is a pattern of criticizing residents that has appeared in the town manager's own writings, albeit he mentions those residents anonymously. It is a tone that I don't think is very becoming of this township or this governing body or the office of manager. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Politi, that's transparency for you, right? It's transparency and it's freedom of speech. And for the record, I did not write that comment, but this is a public forum. I've been empowered by the council members to reach out to the public in all different ways, to be on social media. It's actually in my contract, so you guys can do an open request for that if you'd like. But I'm doing what the council members empowered me to do. So if somebody, for example, comes up during a public meeting and demands to have the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office investigate me or
No
the
one said that.
administration,
No one said that.
if, for example, hypothetically, if that happens, that's free speech. Just like this anonymous person on this blog made a comment expressing their thoughts, right? So here we are a transparent community, and I'm not going to be muzzled. I'm going to express myself. I'm going to reach out to the community, give them my thought process and decision-making, show the reasons for them, and they can comment yes or no, they can disapprove, but they're going to know what I'm thinking because these people up here asked me to be that type of manager.
For the record, I did not request the prosecutor investigate Mr. Nowinski. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
He left the room when I said my statement, so I don't know how he heard any of that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Mr. Politi.
You put your mic on. Thank you.
Do I get back up there? This is gonna be a conversation.
It's not a conversation.
Councilman Connect, this isn't what we need to do tonight. We have our business to conclude. if you'd like to engage Mr. Politi in a discussion afterwards, I'm sure you
It's
can
not
do
a
that.
discussion. All I'm gonna say is,
Just put your mic on, Jim, please. Thank you, Councilman. I appreciate it.
it's on. All I'm gonna say is, Mike, Chris, myself, Kathleen, and Dave Maffei interviewed our manager and told him what we wanted out of him. And that's all he's doing on the instructions that this council gave him. That's all I'm saying. I'm not gonna debate with you. I'm just saying, we gave the order for this to happen. So you wanna get mad at somebody? I got broad shoulders. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilman. Is there anyone else for public participation? Please come up, state your name and your address for the record. Thank you so much.
Sylvia Cobus, 1547 Ohio Avenue. I have a question about the budget. No, it's just information, no comments, I promise. So the 2.5 cents increase, that is on a dollar that we pay already in taxes? Because I'm trying to calculate what that's gonna be for an average, like we pay about 4,000, I guess, I forget, per year. So that, how much that would be, if it's okay to ask, if it's okay with everybody for me to get that information.
If the council
That's-
allows me to answer, I'll
Yeah,
answer.
I can answer that question. So, for an average homeowner of a value of $300,000,
Uh-huh.
the increase is approximately $75
Okay.
annually.
And that includes the new firemen
Oh,
and,
yes, all that.
yeah. Oh, great. So thank you for that information. And I just want to say about the unfortunate comment. I guess when we come out here and we speak openly, come in and sometimes criticize the council, the manager, we unfortunately open ourselves up to the negative comments, which are very unfortunate. Because, and I don't believe that either the manager or the council would endorse such thing to have us not come out and not question and not participate. It's just unfortunate that those people will go online and not put we're out here putting our faces and our names for the public. And it's unfortunate that someone will go online and say it anonymously and hide behind the social comments. And I don't think it's going to discourage us. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you, Ms. Sylvia. Nice seeing you again.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else for public participation? Please come up, state your name and your address, sir.
Yes, sir.
I think I've seen you around town once or twice.
I thought I was gonna be silent tonight, but one thing that confused me was the mayor's question about the percentage of increase, and that's clear. But then I thought that last year there was no increase, and then I think you say that between you two there was, and so that's all I'm trying to clarify.
I can answer that if you want.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we didn't have an increase in 2021.
Correct.
That was right after the pandemic, where the governing body felt it was a good time, because of our finances, to not seek an increase in light of all the hardship that the residents were having post-pandemic. Last year, we did have an increase.
Oh, okay, I misunderstood, because, I mean, this year's increase from the statements you made perfect sense to me, a perfect justification. I just didn't realize it was on top of one last year, which I guess was for the same reason, right? Yeah, pretty much. Because-
We're a pretty tightly run ship,
Yeah.
Mr. Clee.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with the idea that we shouldn't have, be eating into our surplus completely. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming. Not that I'm throwing you out. Please stay. Is there anyone else for public participation? Seeing none or hearing none, we're going to close public participation on that. I have a question for Mr. Roscoe's on 18A was brought up, 18 on H2. Is there questions on H2 on table on this until we get more information on that?
Well, Mayor, this is nothing more than a reaffirmation of what you have already done in connection with this site. The only difference is the unit count went from 70 to 54. For you not to adopt this resolution would be a flip-flop in your position, which I don't understand what the basis of that would be at this juncture. I understand there's a member of the public who's unhappy with that project and that site, but if this body's going to be consistent, you should adopt that resolution this evening.
What would it hurt if we held it off until the 18th to table it, to look?
You've already made a decision to support 70 units. Why you would not support 54 units, I just don't understand. There's no logical reason for you to postpone this. That's my opinion.
Council? Questions? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry, I was just saying, I don't feel like your question was answered, Mayor. I thought your question was, will there be harm to the township, or will there be repercussions for holding it off till the 18th?
For 2 weeks.
But Mr. Roscoe's, I understand your opinion would be that we shouldn't flip-flop. I was just wondering, will there be repercussions? I think if council votes, we should understand that.
This is something that is required to be presented to the New Jersey Mortgage Finance Agency for this project to be viable. I don't know of a deadline within the next 2 weeks.
So
If council wants to postpone this for 2 weeks, I don't know of any harm if that was the question. I just don't know
that was my
why.
question.
I don't know why you would. That was really.
I would like to table it for 2 weeks, till the 18th.
Mr.
Can I get
Mayor,
a second?
Mr. Mayor, no, I don't second it.
That's
It's on
fine.
the agenda. I want to move forward with it.
Okay. Any other?
I have a comment. I'm allowed to have a
Absolutely.
comment. I don't know what's specifically going to happen in 2 weeks. We are a town of 34,000 people. We cannot be beholden to one resident who has a concern that's unfounded. The township attorney just indicated what this was for. So what are we doing? What is our government process? What's going to happen in those 2 weeks?
Exactly.
Well, no. And what's going to happen? What are we doing?
Mr. Mayor,
Uh,
make a point of order. Has
No.
there been a second on this?
No, not yet. Is there?
Just wanted to clarify.
No, absolutely. That's why I'm asking, council. I would like to table it, and if I don't have a second, then we're just gonna vote off. I'm good. Can I get a motion for 18A, please?
Mayor, I'll move 18D1 and H5 in a block excluding H2.
Right.
Second.
Mr. Bobbitt,
Yes.
Mr. Kaneki,
Yes.
Ms. Mecca,
Yes.
Mr. Powers.
Yes.
Mayor Ryan.
Yes.
Mayor, I'll move 18H2.
Yes, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Second.
Mr. Bobbitt,
Yes.
Mr. Kaneki,
Yes.
Ms. Mecca,
Abstain.
Mr. Powers,
Yes.
Mayor Ryan.
No. Council initiatives and liaison report. None?
Mr. Mayor, I have one, if I may.
Oh, yes.
Yes. The DEI committee, the chair of the DEI committee wished to have me share that there's going to be a community stakeholder online training. It's virtual. I would go to, I believe, the township, the DEI committee website should have the link to the sign up. I think so. It's April 24th, 6:30 to 7:30. That's all the information I have right now. I apologize. But I'll touch base with both you and the clerk.
It's on a blog. I don't even know
No.
what it is.
It'll be a Zoom.
No, I got problems on that one too.
You can call in.
I'm telling you.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
No, thank you so much. Written communications, we have, do you want to take this, Mike, or you? We have a letter from a resignation from Joe Ford from the zoning board on that.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
If I may. Joe resigned from the zoning board. We have an opening for a permanent member now. Maybe a month ago, we interviewed, I believe her name was Sarah,
I can't pronounce her last name.
okay?
Sigalakis.
Yeah, that's good.
Who lives right behind us, and the council appointed her to that position. My understanding is the alternate number one on the zoning board does not want to move up,
Correct, I heard that also.
okay? I would like to move Sarah up to that position because we have quite a few applications going in front of the zoning board. And for the short time that she has served, I hear she's very good. So I would like to put a motion that
Right, we'll need a motion for next council meeting.
tonight. We already interviewed her, so.
Yeah, we did already.
We don't have to have an interview. We've already done that.
As long as you're comfortable with not interviewing, everybody else comfortable with her, because we just.
Yep.
And I second that, on that. I absolutely agree. What do you, council? Agree on that?
Yes.
So
Because
we need to make a formal motion.
Mr. Kanaki is making a motion
Yeah.
Correct.
for, I'm sorry, this individual, I'm not familiar with her.
Zoning, Sarah,
It's a motion from Mr. Kanaki to appoint Sarah Sigalakis as a permanent member of Lawrence Zoning Board, as she is the second alternate right now, and the first alternate does not wish to be a permanent member.
correct.
Okay, is there a second for that motion?
Second.
Okay.
And we don't need an interview, we just
You've
interviewed.
already interviewed this person.
Correct.
She's already on the board. You're just
Yeah,
changing
3
her
weeks ago.
position.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Would you like to call it?
The mayor.
Okay.
Yes, please, roll call. Thank you.
Mr. Bobbitt,
Yes.
Mr. Kanaki,
Yes.
Ms. McDuff,
Yes.
Mr. Powers.
Yes.
Mayor Ryan.
Yes. Thank you so much.
And I'll send her off a letter.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks so much, Madam Clerk. All right, we're going to do we're going to go into executive session right now. We appreciate everyone coming out tonight. It was nice seeing everyone. Thank you for the flyer. See the rec department, we see the emergency, we see the residents, we see Benson. Very nice seeing you. I saw Benson showed up last night in planning. It was very nice meeting you.
And Mr. Whitehead, don't forget Mr.
Mr. Whitehead, I haven't seen you in a while.
You got Chief Longo in the back?
Yep, I said the chief back there and Jack's, he's sliding down, leaning to the right a little, lisping. But thank you all for coming and EMS. Please, thank you, Donna.
You're welcome. As always.
Thank you all for coming and please be careful going home.
Everyone lines up the mayor, and thank you individually by name.
I will. And, yes, sir.